Can you make a case for Denver winning at all?
No, I really can't. I will say that Emmanuel Sanders being there with the Thomases, Julius and Demarius, with Monty Ball, with Peyton Manning behind center, with the offensive line buffered up a little bit compared to what it was in last year's Super Bowl. I anticipate that Peyton Manning will be protected better than he was the last time we saw these two teams go against one another, Skip Bayless. But Denver hasn't been overly impressive. They're still trying to figure things out. I know Wes Welker being brought back into the mix matters. And if this game were if it were in Denver, that would be different. But because it's supposed to be in Seattle, I think that's going to have noise is going to play a huge factor. I understand that if anybody can deal with it, it's Peyton Manning. But I'm not assuming that will be the case on this particular Sunday. The one thing that I am willing to say is that I anticipate the game will be closer. It won't be a 43-8 drubbing and annihilation, a beat down where guys are getting their hearts snatched out of their chest, reduced to straight-up punks like they were in the Super Bowl. Obviously, you've got DeMarcus Ware, you've got Aqib Talib, you've got these boys in place, so I expect things to be a tad bit different. But in the end, the Legion of Boom is the Legion of Boom. They're coming off a loss in San Diego. They've got attitude. They're returning to their home turf. It's a Super Bowl rematch. I just think the deck is stacked against the Denver Broncos. I expect Seattle to win this game. I'm not saying they're going to run away with it like a 35-point victory, but I expect them to win this game. Something along the line, Skip, I'd say, of 27 to 19, 27-20.
Okay. So it's not going to be 43-8 is what you're saying.
Right.
Which was a Super Bowl score.
Yes, it was.
If I have to remind everybody. I am with you in the big picture here. I believe Seattle will win this game even more easily than you think that it will. I've got it 35-13. Maybe I'm going a little too far in Seattle's direction just because they will be in a foul mood after what happened in San Diego. But I still believe that Seattle's offense, as we saw in San Diego, is significantly more explosive than it even was last year. So that makes it even harder for Denver to go in to Seattle and play a close game. And this is a 5-point spread, and I think it should be a 10-point spread.
Wow.
Now, back to your question.
Yes.
Can I make any case?
Yeah.
I can. And it comes down to one man. This is a Peyton Manning game. I believe he is driven for revenge in this football game. I believe that this, as a regular season game, is the most important one, and he wouldn't say this publicly yet, unless they won it. But I think it's the most important regular season game in Peyton's mind that he's ever played. And that's just an educated guess. But have we not seen a different Peyton Manning so far this preseason and early regular season?
In terms of his personality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has he not been more quick-tempered than you can ever imagine him being? Remember after that preseason practice, he just about flew into a rage.
Remember him last week when he was going off on Thomas? I've never seen him like that.
Thomas? Wow.
I've never seen him
just showed
like
him up all the way up the sideline? Really? Why is that? Because the humiliation of 43-8 still burns deeply in this man's soul. I mean soul, his football soul. And I think he wants this game so badly to get some revenge off his performance, which, as you remember, he threw for 280 in the Super Bowl, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, had the 4th lowest QBR of his career since the stat was invented in 06. He was sacked twice. He was pressured 8 times. Seems like he was under duress almost every throw. And I thought it was mildly significant that in the preseason game between these two teams, which was in Denver, Peyton in the first quarter did lead a long touchdown drive, 61 yards, 14 plays. He was pretty good in that drive. He went 10 out of 13 for 78 yards. And it gave them a 7-0 lead. And you can say, oh, it's just the preseason. I think it meant something to him to say, I got to get back on that horse and ride it against the first-team Seattle defense. So, as you point out, Ryan Clady gives him a little extra blindside protection he didn't have in the Super Bowl. And, you know, we should see this play once more because I'm hoping for Denver's sake that they don't snap the ball over Peyton's head on the first offensive play of the game. Can we see that, please?
Yeah.
Remember that? Wasn't
that's
seriously?
What got him off to the start.
Wasn't that the end of the game? Seriously, Is it
never
too much to
recovered.
say that psychologically they were beaten after the
No.
first play of the game?
No.
I mean, it was against that team. You can't do that. So if you're asking me to make a case, I'll say I don't think they'll snap it over Peyton's head on the first play of the game.
So you don't give them any
Yeah.
chance at all. You
Okay.
don't see-
No, I'm saying Peyton's going to have to play extraordinary football, and he is capable of it.
Yeah.
And I think he will be driven to do that. I'm just not sure about his defense. Peyton obviously doesn't play defense, and you brought up the Pro Bowlers that they have added on the other side. I'm not seeing it being that much better, if any better. DeMarcus Ware, I don't know. You know my feelings about Aqib Talib,
Yeah.
T.J. Ward, and Von Miller did not play in the Super Bowl. And even though he pulled his groin late in the game against Kansas City, he's supposed to start in this game. So does that make them significantly better? Well, I don't think they're as significantly better on defense as Seattle is on offense with Percy Harvin and Doug Baldwin and Turbin. And it's like there's explosive plays everywhere you look on their offensive side, and Russell Wilson is playing, dare I say, at a Peyton Manning-esque level. So I don't know how you stop that.
I didn't get that from Russell Wilson last week against San Diego, so I wouldn't
I
go
did.
that far. I mean,
Well,
he
they barely had
good-
the
he
ball
he a good
17
game.
minutes and 45
I'm
seconds.
just simply saying that, he didn't knock your socks off. I don't look at the Seattle Seahawks as an offensive juggernaut. They're a respectable offensive team. They're very talented. Russell Wilson is continuing to mature and grow. I get all of that. I'm more concerned about Denver's offense right now because, to me, when the offense isn't doing well, it demoralizes your defense. You got to remember, even though this defense is ranked 31st against the pass in the league, they're
Yeah.
ranked 14th overall, 10 against the run.
Okay, I'm going to up my score a little bit. I talked
Okay.
myself into this. I'm going to give Peyton Manning the respect to go
Yeah.
to 20 for Denver,
Yeah.
35-20.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, don't.
I got 27-20.
Okay.